Good evening. We begin tonight. A Macon County man charged with murder, accused of shooting a man in the head over $50. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Tymon Perry faces a slew of charges after Macon County deputies say he shot a Hervey City businessman in the head. Perry is still in the hospital tonight recovering from the shooting police say he started. News Channel 20's Carson Gordy spent his day in Hervey City and joins us in the studio now. Carson?
Hervey City is a small town in Macon County, and deputies say they were surprised to hear that the city was the site of a deadly shooting.
By the time the officers arrived, Mr. Sunderland was actually holding the weapon that was used in the homicide and the other shootings. So, was he initial suspect? Was the individual who had shot who? So it took probably a good 15, 20 minutes just to figure out what the story was.
That was Macon County Sergeant Jack Flannery describing a dispute over a towing bill that turned fatal. Officials say the suspect, Tymon Perry, was sent to pick up another person's vehicle at Greg's Towing, a local company owned by Greg Hostetler.
And once he arrived on scene, there was a bit of a dispute over the cost of the tow, which was only going to be $50. That verbal altercation turned into a physical altercation.
Flannery says Perry pulled out a handgun and shot Hostetler in the head. Hostetler's nephew, 18-year-old Kobe Sunderland, then tried to wrestle the gun away from Perry. Sunderland was shot in the shoulder during the altercation, but was able to gain control of the gun.
He was basically still being threatened, and he fired one round, which struck Mr. Perry in the testicle area.
The police then arrived at the scene where they found Hostetler dead. Perry was taken to the hospital for his injuries and has been charged with first-degree murder.
I know that $50 is a lot of money sometimes, but an individual lost his life. An individual could potentially go to prison for the rest of life, and 3 people were shot over $50.
Flannery says he expects more charges for Perry in the days ahead. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thanks, Carson. Now, prior to the shooting, the suspect, Tymon Perry, had a warrant out for his arrest. Perry is currently serving 24 months probation for unlawful vehicular invasion. Earlier this year, Perry did not attend a meeting with his probation officer and the following court date, which resulted in an arrest warrant being issued back in April of this year. The 25-year-old has previously faced charges of armed robbery with a firearm and aggravated assault of a peace officer. We asked Macon County State's Attorney Scott Reeder about the law enforcement process to take Perry into custody before Monday's shooting, given his history.
With the technical violation of not reporting, that's not something that raises a lot of alarms. If there were some other indication that he was acting out in a violent manner, even though it was a violation of probation for a technical basis, then we would be more concerned.
The Macon County Sergeant Scott Flannery says there are hundreds of arrest warrants out in Macon County at any given time. Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.